You are listening to the Why Smart Women podcast, the podcast that helps smart women work out why we repeatedly make the wrong decisions and how to make better ones. From relationships, career choices, finances, to faux fur jackets and kale smoothies. Every moment of every day, we're making decisions. Let's make them good ones. I'm your host, Annie McCubbin, and as a woman of a certain age, I've made my own share of really bad decisions. Not my husband. I don't mean him, though. I did go through some shockers to find him. And I wish this podcast had been around to save me from myself. This podcast will give you insights into the working of your own brain, which will blow your mind. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I'm recording, and you are listening on this day. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Well, hello, smart women. If any of you had been listening to the audiobook of Why Smart Women Make Bad Decisions and How Critical Thinking Can Protect Them, which we have played over about the last 10 weeks, you might like to tune in to the next 15 weeks and listen to the audio recording of my second book, which is Why Smart Women Buy the Lies and How Critical Thinking Reveals the Truth. So this is a continuation of the hapless character Kat, how she identifies the flaws in her thinking and finally makes better decisions. If you find yourself tuning in and you are perhaps in episode 3 or episode 4, by all means, go back to episode 1 and follow the narrative because it has a very strong narrative arc. So, relax, kick back, get yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine and listen to the audio version of Why Smart Women Buy the Lies and How Critical Thinking Reveals the Truth. See you soon. Bye. Chapter 13. The Stylish Relatives Lose It. You are making a risotto. You resent the constant stirring, but feel it shows commitment to your relationship with Michael. You become aware of raised voices from above. A door slams, causing Susan to pause her kitchen benchtop ablutions and crane her neck towards the ceiling. The window above yours opens with a screech. You hear Charlotte's voice.
I want to know who this woman is.
A door slams.
Alec, I want to know.
You can't make out the words in Alec's grumbling reply. You widen your eyes at Porridge.
That doesn't sound good. Hope Charlotte's okay.
She must be near the window. Her voice is crystal clear.
I deserve to know the truth.
Then Alec's voice.
No, I am not talking to you about this.
The window slams shut. Porridge growls. The angry dialogue continues, muted now. You abandon your risotto and cross to the front door, opening it to the landing just slightly. Mrs. Kovachik's door is also ajar. Her eye appears in the crack. Porridge noses your door open.
Mrs. Kovachik,
you whisper.
Doesn't sound good.
She opens her door wider.
No, the handsome nephew, I think, is up to no good.
Porridge forces himself past your legs and trots to the base of the stairs leading up to Mrs. Hume's flat. He puts one paw on the bottom step and growls.
Porridge. Come here.
He climbs another step. You are beset with indecision. Should you be striding up the stairs and knocking firmly on their door, or returning to your flat and pretending you were working with a headset on and heard nothing? If you knocked on their door, you can imply you were there in an official capacity. You could say Mr. Sanderson had put you in charge of investigating disturbances in the flats. You hear another volley of angry shouts. Porridge barks and climbs another step. Mrs. Kovachik opens her door further and looks up the staircase.
Guess in full swing,
she whispers.
Porridge, come here,
you say, more forcefully now. He climbs another step. You skirt across the landing. He takes this as permission to advance up the entire staircase. You lunge for his collar and manage to hook it with a single finger. You're trying to yank him back down the stairs when Mrs. Hume's door opens. Charlotte emerges, tears streaming down her face. You barely recognise her. Her hair is askew and you can see the grey roots. She's wearing a stained T-shirt that says Believe. She's barefoot and her left ankle is heavily tattooed. Alec appears behind her.
Come back inside, Charlotte.
It's clear this exchange is not intended to be public, so you try and make it look like you've chosen that spot on the stairs to check porridge for ticks. Charlotte turns to Alec and throws something at him. A ball of paper bounces off the doorframe. Porridge thinks it's a game of fetch and strains to free himself from your single-finger grip. You're about to lose him when Charlotte leans forward like a swimmer on the starting blocks, clenches her fists at her side and screams. The sound reverberates around the landing. Porridge cowers. You put your hand to your throat.
Come inside.
Alex says again. She looks at you, or through you, then careers down the stairs. You and Porridge spring to the side, but you're not quick enough. She smacks into your shoulder, hard, spinning you into the banister. Without apology, she continues across the landing and down the next flight of stairs. You hear the bang of the foyer door. You look at Mrs. Kovacic, who is now standing outside her door, her hand across her mouth. There is a disturbing and profound silence. You can hear your breathing in your ears. You don't know if you should go after Charlotte. Why isn't Alec following her? It's a chilly winter evening. She has no shoes. You look up at Alec, who is still standing at the top of the stairs.
Cat.
He says. Porridge growls. You instinctively move down a step, pulling Porridge with you. Alec also comes down a step.
Don't get involved in this.
The harsh overhead light casts a shadow across his good looks. He's wearing all black. His hair is black. It could be a painting. Woman and dog on stairs with man above. Oil on canvas.
What do you mean?
I mean, don't get involved.
Mrs. Kovacic steps forward.
You don't scare us, Mr. Alexei.
She says. You clench and unclench your hands. He looks at both of you for a couple of seconds, puts his hands in his pockets and shakes his head. He turns around and goes back into the flat. Porridge pads up the stairs after him.
Did he just threaten me?
You ask.
If Mr. Kovacic's not in a chair, I get him to go upstairs and punch him.
Charlotte mentioned a woman. Maybe he's having an affair.
Mrs. Kovacic tuts.
On top of everything else, he's also a philanthropist.
What?
You just say he has an affair.
A philanderer, not a philanthropist.
You sigh and look up the stairwell. Porridge is returning from his recon. The paper ball is in his mouth.
What is it, Porridge?
Porridge ducks under your hands and disappears into your flat.
Poor Charlotte.
Says Mrs. Kovacic.
Poor Charlotte.
You touch her on the shoulder.
Cares like volcano now.
You go back into your flat and close the door behind you. You lean on it. Your hands are shaking. You pick up your phone and dial Charlotte's number. It goes to voicemail.
Charlotte, are you okay? Call me.
Porridge has finished with the paper ball and is chewing on a plastic penguin, now untroubled by the drama on the stairs. You wish you were a dog.
Poor Charlotte.
You say. The perfect time to work. You sleep badly. You lie looking into the darkness. The margarita-drinking, stylish relative is living a lie. Her perfect relationship with perfect Alec is a big, fat fib. Why do people need to fabricate their lives? Why couldn't she tell you the truth? The thought toggles in your mind with concerns that Charlotte is in a dangerous, controlling relationship. Maybe that's why she always looks perfect. Maybe he demands it. You look at your phone. It's 3:32 a.m. You go into the kitchen, flick on the kettle, and open the fridge to retrieve the milk. This kitchen activity rouses Susan and Porridge. Porridge brings you his penguin. Susan sits near your feet, staring at the fridge.
It's 3:33 a.m. Go back to your lives.
You say to them. You go to the window, pull back the curtains and look out at the street below. A lone figure drifts towards the flats. You feel like you're in a Hitchcock film. Woman stands at window, looks down at street below, and sees lone male figure approach, hands thrust deep in pockets, shoulders hunched against the cold. He pauses just across the street near a street light, but not quite under it. He lights a cigarette. The lighter flares. Oh, God, it's Alec. You pull the curtains shut and sit on the floor.
Oh, my God. And he smokes?
You say to Porridge.
How disgusting. And what's he doing wandering the streets at 3 a.m.? Seeing his mistress, I'll bet. How can Charlotte put up with it?
You realise you've taken advice from someone who is more out of control than you are. You sit on the couch and open your computer. Pull yourself together, you tell yourself. Charlotte might be a loose cannon, but you know what you're doing. You're learning to trade before you make any rash decisions. You've set up a separate account. It's all good. Susan tries to sit in your lap.
Go away, Susan. I'm changing my life.
You hold your hands above the keyboard like a concert pianist, then begin. Porridge is sitting on your feet.
So far, so good.
You say to him. The market moves quickly. Charlotte might be lying about her life, but her advice is sound. You hear Michael stirring in the bedroom. You look at the time on your laptop screen. It's now 6:30 a.m. You've been on your computer for 3 hours. You go to the bedroom door. Michael's gone back to using the nasal plug. You haven't mentioned Charlotte's meltdown to the tapir. You don't want the drama. You slide into bed without waking him. You feel good. You're the sort of person who makes autonomous decisions and enacts them in the early hours. Some of your decisions prove to be good, some not. That's okay. It's all part of the learning process. You are roused by a knock on the door. Michael has left for work without waking you. You check your phone. It's 8:30 a.m. You stumble to the door and crack it open. It's Charlotte,
I'm just checking to see how you're doing.
she says. She is restored, hair perfect, feet clad.
You've come to see how I'm doing. I should be doing a welfare check on you.
She walks past you into your flat, accompanied by a waft of Chanel. She sits on the couch.
So how is your trading training going?
Charlotte, what's the deal?
She raises her eyebrows.
With yesterday.
She waves her hand in the air.
Oh, sorry. Poor old Alec. He can't cope with my Spanish blood. Really, we're all sound and fury, signifying nothing.
She smiles at you.
Right.
There is a pause.
So you're okay.
Okay. I'm better than okay.
It's just that on the stairs,
What about it?
you looked very upset.
Really? Haven't you ever seen people have a row?
Yes, but that seemed next level.
Wow, you must have led a very protected life. You call that next level?
The back of your neck prickles. What is it with Charlotte? Yesterday she looked like she'd wandered off the set of Hoarders. Today she's back to being Oprah.
Well, yes, I'd call that pretty next level.
Do you disclose to her that you heard the argument about another woman and that Alec was wandering in the street at 3 a.m., smoking a cigarette with his collar up like a character in a Hitchcock film?
Honestly, Kat, it's all fine.
You sit on the couch next to her and fold your arms. Call her on it, Kat. Do it.
Charlotte, do you know that Alex smokes?
She tilts her head and frowns.
What? No, he doesn't.
You raise your shoulders and compress your mouth. You touch her arm.
It's okay, Charlotte.
She withdraws her arm and rubs her wrist where you touched her. You watch as her face resets itself.
Kat, you've never been married, have you?
Something crumbles inside you. The edifice of friendship. The hope of a margarita-loving neighbour to laugh the bottom out of a champagne bottle and whisper the truth with.
No.
Well, marriage can be tricky.
You bite the inside of your cheek and look down at the floor. You know nothing about me, you think to yourself.
I'm getting married.
To Michael?
What? Yes, of course, to Michael. You think I've got a secret groom tucked away in a cupboard?
It's just that I thought things were rocky with Michael.
Things are fine now. He's not perfect, but he's loyal and kind, and that means a lot. Also, he's fully supportive of me learning to trade.
Wow, well, congratulations. Just don't go too fast. Remember the 100 paper trades and the internet fast.
You lean on the counter, feeling an unfamiliar urge to needle, to push.
Why didn't you have children of your own?
Why don't you have children?
Clearly, she's experiencing the same urge as you.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
Eggs are drying up, Kat. You should get going.
Well, that's why we're getting married. We want to start trying for a baby.
Which means you have to get married?
Your brain slams the brakes on.
Well, no, of course not. But it helps with IVF.
Oh, you've already been trying?
Yes, but we've had no luck. Hence the IVF.
You should have said something. IVF is awful. Have you thought maybe being so skinny could be getting in the way of you falling pregnant?
Seriously? Maybe she'd like you to start adding sustagen to your diet.
It's not me, it's Michael.
Michael shoots blanks.
Apparently. Anyway, we want to start the process. It's expensive, on top of the wedding. That's why I'm keen to start trading, for real.
Be careful what you wish for. This could be the end of your tiny waist.
I'm not that worried. We carry small in our family.
Right. You know what amazes me? Those women who don't know they're pregnant. Then one day they go to the toilet and bam! How is that even possible?
Yes, it's amazing.
Can I be bridesmaid?
She laughs.
I'm just imagining Aunt Lucy as matron of honour.
You force a laugh.
Yeah, that would be funny.
You decide to give it one more try.
Charlotte, I've never been married, but I've been in a rubbish relationship. I know what it looks like.
Charlotte leans back, puts her index finger on her bottom lip and raises her eyebrows. You cannot interpret what this assembly of actions means. She stands up and smiles.
Sorry.
For what?
She shrugs.
Anyway, Kat, just stick to the plan. Complete the paper trays and then have a break before you start.
You remain leaning on the counter.
See ya.
The door shuts behind her. You collapse on the couch, your forearm across your eyes. Why did you say that? Why a wedding? Why IVF? What is wrong with you? Why didn't you keep going and say you're a Russian heiress? You hear Porridge chewing something.
Porridge, bring it.
He trots over and deposits a slimy ball of paper on your arm. You sit up. It's the piece of paper Charlotte threw on the stairs. You take the soggy lump in your fingernails and carefully peel apart the layers. Gruel saliva has eradicated all but the valediction. With love and respect, Sansia Burridge. Sansia Burridge is Alec's Scarlet Woman. With love and respect? What about respecting Alec's wife? Who is this person? You grab your laptop and type Sansia Burridge into your browser, and she appears. Sansia Burridge has a Wikipedia page. She's a socialite and philanthropist with strong links to the business community. There are photos of Sansia Burridge cutting ribbons and accepting a Businesswoman of the Year award. No wonder she's caught Alec's eye. This Sansia Burridge out Charlotte.
Strong links to the business community.
You say to Porridge. The funny business community, more like it. Wedding anyone? You double down on refining your crypto trading strategies. Compared to life in the flats, crypto markets seem way more predictable. Your phone beeps. You look at your phone. It's 5 p.m. There's a text from Mrs. Hume. Kat, I need help lifting something. Could you come up? You exit the trading platform, drag your fingers through your hair and ascend the stairs. Charlotte opens the door, margarita in hand. Behind her are Mrs. Hume, Willow, and Will. Willow is holding balloons with the words Kat and Michael inside a love heart. And here she is. Everyone cheers. You are frozen to the spot. Charlotte pulls you into the middle of the room where Mrs. Hume enfolds you in a hug. She releases you and holds you at arm's length.
Oh, Kat, congratulations,
says Mrs. Hume.
I didn't know things were that serious, but that's marvellous. He's an angel. I remember the first time I laid eyes on you and you were in a terrible state over that dreadful man.
She turns to Charlotte.
Kat's last boyfriend was truly dreadful.
Mrs. Kovacic is standing behind Mr. Kovacic. She's dabbing at her eyes, out of breath from having to help Will and Willow heave her husband up the stairs.
Oh, Kat, I'm so happy. Tell your mother I make dress, good price.
At the sound of a champagne bottle popping, everyone whoops, and Mrs. Hume deftly appears with a tray of sherry glasses. Charlotte follows her, pouring the champagne. You know she knows. She must know. Is she punishing you for lying or just enjoying the fantasy? You look at her playing to the room. It's disturbing how consummate her performance as the happily married stepmother to 2 adorable children is.
Well,
Says Mrs. Hume.
it makes us so happy to see our Kat with such a lovely man.
The front door opens. Alec enters.
You're talking about me again?
He says. Will and Willow hurl themselves at him. Will sticks his hand in Alec's pocket and pulls out a chocolate block.
What are we celebrating?
Says Alec. He takes off his coat and is going through the mail.
Kat's getting married.
Says Charlotte.
Well, that's good news.
Says Alec.
When's the wedding?
Says Mrs. Hume.
Well, we haven't decided. Not yet.
Where's Mickey?
Says Mrs. Kovacic.
He should be here.
Charlotte, what's this?
Says Alec. He's waving a letter at Charlotte.
I don't know, Alec. I don't have X-ray vision.
You can deal with this one. I've had it.
Come on, everyone. It's not every day we get to host an impromptu engagement party. Willow, go downstairs and fetch Michael.
Michael isn't home tonight. He has a work thing.
You say,
No,
says Willow from the window.
he's crossing the street right now.
Then I'd better meet him
You say, making a dash for the door.
and tell him we're having a celebration.
I'm coming with you.
Says Willow. She follows in hot pursuit. You meet Michael just as he reaches your landing.
Congratulations!
Says Willow. Michael's brow furrows.
Thanks.
He says, Mrs. Hume has followed Willow into the stairwell.
Michael, we're all waiting for you. Come up.
Oh, okay.
He turns to you.
Have I forgotten there's something on?
Well,
Says Willow.
there's something on now.
She takes his hand and leads him up the stairs. You arrive at Mrs. Hume's front door and grab Michael's other arm before he breaches the doorway.
I may have told a few lies. Sorry.
Charlotte throws her arms around Michael.
Michael, we're so thrilled for you both.
Here comes the bride. Fair, fat and wide, slipped on a banana skin and went for a ride.
Chants Willow. Will laughs. Mrs. Kovacic bursts into tears when she sees Michael.
Oh, Mickey, we're so happy for you both.
It's Michael, Mrs. Kovacic.
Says Michael. Alex stares at Michael.
Well, mate, looks like your life's about to change.
Yep.
Says Michael, putting his arm around you.
We're not making the wedding public yet. I haven't told my parents.
Are you going to have a baby?
Says Willow.
I'll babysit. I'm very responsible.
Tell us, Michael, about the proposal.
Says Charlotte. You look at Charlotte. She smiles back at you. You're definitely going for the she's punishing you option.
Oh, yeah.
Says Willow.
Dad got an aeroplane skywriter to say, "Marry me, Lottie."
Everyone looks at Michael with rapt attention. He looks at you briefly. You take in a breath. Hold it.
Well,
He says.
there was no skywriter. It was quite spontaneous.
There's a pause. Everyone leans in.
Go on. We love a romantic story.
Says Charlotte. He throws back a glass of champagne like it's a vodka shot.
So we're at a party. I'm standing in a circle of people outside. It's beautiful. Clear night. Fresh after weeks of rain. The trees are dressed in fairy lights. We're drinking champagne. I look at Kat. She's standing next to me. She's wearing this dress. It's a soft blue colour. Like her eyes. She's laughing. She's laughing so much she's bent in two. She collects herself, looks up at me, and then I have this moment of blinding clarity. She's the best person I know. Marry me? I say to her. Please?
There's a moment of silence. Then you realise there's a sound coming out of your mouth. You're sobbing loudly.
I've seen you in that dress. It's beautiful.
Says Charlotte. Mrs. Kovacic is still sobbing.
Oh, she's remembering marrying me.
Says Mr. Kovacic.
Yes,
Says Mrs. Kovacic.
if only I had known what was coming.
Everyone laughs and then the noise resumes. Everyone drops their focus from you. The room is full of stories of pregnancies and marriages and broken engagements. You feel ill. You are the worst person who's ever been born.
I was 18 when I met Mr. Kovacic.
Mrs. Kovacic is saying.
He was my ticket out of Brach. Anyway, he asked me to marry him. I look at him and think, well, he's handsome enough.
The last time she told you this story, she said she was 15. Perhaps we just keep reconstructing our reality. Perhaps the telling of our stories is as important as the living of our lives. Maybe the hearing of our stories is how we feel our way through our existence.
Your dress? I have pattern. It's a traditional Croatian style. Michael can wear special Croatian cape.
She makes you look up traditional Croatian wedding dress on your phone. It is a heavily embroidered affair with what looks like a lace tablecloth over the head. The groom looks like a superhero prince.
It's lovely, but I don't really think it's very me.
Cat is not Croatian.
Says Mrs. Hume.
Cat will have traditional wedding, and she has lovely figure.
Traditional, yes, but not Croatian.
You look at Michael. He is crouched next to Mr. Kovačic's wheelchair. Your gaze shifts to Mr. Kovačic, who has one hand on Michael's shoulder and is talking to him earnestly. Michael smiles. Mr. Kovačic smiles back. Mrs. Hume moves closer to Michael.
She's like the daughter I never had,
she says to him. She looks across the room at you and raises her sherry glass, and you notice she seems to have shrunk slightly. She looks frail. Frail people need things to look forward to. You've given your frail neighbour something to look forward to, and you're going to rip it out from underneath her. What if you kill her? It's then you realise, regardless of how you and Michael feel about each other, you will now have to get married because you cannot let your neighbours down. You look back at Michael. Anyway, you think, maybe he is handsome enough. After the party, you leave the neighbours to argue over your fictitious wedding dress and head back to your flat. Porridge is waiting in the lounge room, his lead in his mouth. You sigh and set out with him and Michael into the night. It's nippy. The smell of freshly cooked doughnuts is in the air. You find the smell optimistic.
Were you lying about liking the blue dress, or is it true?
What do you think?
He says, taking your hand.
Well, if it's not true, you tell a beautiful lie.
I don't know if that's such a great skill.
You walk along in silence. Porridge spots a cat crossing the road and pulls on his lead.
I may also have implied you have a low sperm count.
Okay, so I guess that means no baby for us.
Well, no. We're having very expensive IVF.
Right.
I don't normally lie.
Right. So just as a matter of interest, why did you?
Now that you're my fiancé, I'd better come clean. There was an incident on the stairs yesterday. Charlotte was having a massive argument with Alec. She looked seriously out of control. She ran outside screaming with no shoes on.
Sheesh.
Anyway, this morning she was in complete denial. She was talking about it like they'd had a mild tiff about the use-by date on the milk. She was really annoying me, being all, I'm perfect and you're not.
Right, so you thought you'd tell her I had a low sperm count.
Well, I didn't start there.
A low sperm count is something that can signify a bit of an issue with your masculinity.
How do you know that?
My science degree. I studied infertility, you know, sperm motility, things like that.
Oh, right.
It's just that I wouldn't want people assuming that my lack of facial hair means that I have sluggish, sparse sperm.
Well, people are not thinking anything. I only said it to Charlotte.
Yes, she might be chatting to Alec and she might mention my supposed low sperm count.
Michael, I would never pick you as having a low sperm count.
Well, I don't.
No, I know, but all I'm saying is I don't think you look like you would have a low sperm count. I think you're getting in a state about something I've said to only one person.
Well, if you say something to one person and they say something to one person, it's exponential. Before you know it, the entire block of flats is talking about my lazy sperm.
Michael, I didn't set out to talk about your sperm count.
Well, maybe next time you find yourself in the position where you have to lie about fertility, you can talk about overgrowth in the endometrium and leave my sperm count out of it.
I've never heard of overgrowth or whatever you call it.
Endometrium overgrowth. You can keep it in your back pocket for future emergencies.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. You're making a huge fuss over nothing.
Maybe I should go and tell everyone it's a furphy.
That's fine. I have no interest in buying into some patriarchal construct that requires my children to use my husband's surname.
No, you want children now.
I'm not saying that.
He takes Porridge's lead off you and turns back towards the flats.
Time to go home, Porridge.
So that's the end of our walk.
Yes, Kat, that's the end of our walk.
You watch him walk off. You stand in the street, your eyes filling with tears. He doesn't look back. There's something about crying in the street with no one to observe you that you find humiliating. The smell of doughnuts is still in the air. You wipe your eyes. You walk towards the cafe. You will sit alone in the cafe and have a donut and wait for Michael to ring you and say he's sorry. You wait an hour. He doesn't ring. Without buying him a donut, you head for home. You hope he's waiting up. The flat is quiet when you enter. In the bedroom, Michael is snoring as is porridge. Why is it that men can compartmentalise so efficiently? You lie next to Michael going over his proposal story. There really was a party. You really wore that dress. There really were fairy lights. You really were bent over with laughter. Did he really nearly say, "Marry me"? Oh, Kat, what were you thinking? Kat is a kind and empathetic person. Although she worries that the advice Charlotte has given her around crypto may not be as rock solid as she thought, she is genuinely concerned about Charlotte's welfare. In the moment Kat sees Charlotte dishevelled in the stairwell, the power balance between the two women shifts. Right from the start, Charlotte, like Lydia in previous chapters, has a higher power status than Kat. Our unconscious biases around power in relationships drive a lot of our behaviour. Charlotte has always appeared to Kat to have an effortless confidence. She's poised, together, elegant, and seemingly in a highly successful relationship. In the face of these presumptions, Kat falls into her natural tendency to take the lower status position in their relationship. When Charlotte first arrives on the scene, Kat is in the market for a solid friendship, so she is strongly motivated to see Charlotte in a positive light. The power dynamic is present in all relationships. We mostly focus on how it works in our romantic relationships, but it's also highly relevant in our friendships. In a healthy friendship, power should move effortlessly between both parties. Good friends should be able to tolerate being challenged, be interested in the other person's perspective and opinions, and allow themselves to express vulnerability. A friendship can only grow and develop if it's safe for weaknesses and flaws to be given an airing. When Charlotte stonewalls Kat's attempts to express empathy, this leaves Kat feeling undermined, diminished and deceived. The grief of potentially losing a friend, layered with the anger she feels about Charlotte's denial of toxicity in her relationship, leaves Kat feeling emotionally unmoored. She is triggered into the fight component of the fight, flight or freeze response. She instinctively wants to regain her lost power in the relationship, but being direct is not Kat's strong point. So, in the throes of an emotional response, she attempts to regain some status by lying about getting married. Kat's lies snowball, as lies tend to do. She finds herself in the highly unenviable position of having built an edifice of lies that she seems incapable of backing away from. Driven by the emotional part of her brain, she's incapable of calming herself for long enough to consider coming clean. Confirmation bias kicks in. Her brain is caught up in the flawed idea that it's preferable for the lie to be sustained and for her to appear consistent, even though the cost may be her relationship. Kat's prefrontal cortex shuts down when the ramifications of her behaviour should have been lighting up her brain like a Christmas tree. How many of us make decisions based on lies and are then unable to climb down from the construct we've built that we're now standing on? Yeah, sure, I love camping. I'd love to come on an extended family bus trip around Central Australia. This response has given it a fun Mexican restaurant after a jug of sangria. Come February, you're stuck in a tent in 40-degree heat with your cousin Todd, who has made the ethical decision to stop showering. Slowing down your responses, saying, "Let me think about that," can save you a world of pain. Also, don't agree to things after you've had a few drinks. That also works. Lie detection. Pants on fire? Mark Twain said, "If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything." I rest my case. End of chapter 13. Thanks for tuning into Why Smart Women with me, Annie McCubbin. I hope today's episode has ignited your curiosity and left you feeling inspired by my anti-motivational style. Join me next time as we continue to unravel the fascinating layers of our brains and develop ways to sort out the fact from the fiction and the over 6,000 thoughts we have in the course of every day. Remember, intelligence isn't enough. You can be as smart as paint, But it's not just about what you know, it's about how you think. And in all this talk of whether or not you can trust your gut, if you ever feel unsafe, whether it's in the street, at work, in a car park, in a bar, or in your own home, please respect that gut feeling. Staying safe needs to be our primary objective. We can build better lives, but we have to stay safe to do that. And don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the podcast and share it with your fellow smart women and allies. Together, we're hopefully reshaping the narrative around women and making better decisions. So until next time, stay sharp, stay savvy, and keep your critical thinking hat shiny. This is Annie McCubbin signing off from Why Smart Women. See you later. This episode was produced by Harrison Hess. It was executive produced and written by me, Annie McCubbin.